Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Sierra. I'm 21 years old. I live in northern Canada and today I want to talk to you about makeup, specifically makeup from the drugstore. So these are all my favorite products. Of course I've tried lots more, but these are like my favorites, the one that I think that are like worth you guys trying out if you're interested. So I'll start with the face products, and I'm gonna start just like as I would put it on. So starting with primer, this is the e.l.f. Illuminating Face Primer. It's hydrating, smoothing, helps fill in pores, and it's really lightweight. I don't use primer all the time, but when I do, I just again want something that's lightweight, not gonna feel gross, greasy on my skin. But I do have really dry skin, so I don't need mattifying primers either. So that's why I like that one. It's just gives my face a little bit of luminosity, and we're good to go. Next is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus. So I'm in the shade Shell Ivory, which is because I'm very pale. But this is like a medium to full coverage, it's more buildable foundation. It is matte. It's matte but not drying, blends out really easily, lasts a really long time on the skin. Like if I can wear this to like for an 8-hour shift at work and not worry about my foundation moving all over the place, which is always nice. So yeah, that's my favorite. I did really like the Maybelline Superstay as well, but this one made me break out, and I wasn't sure if it was the foundation or other things I was doing in my skincare, but I did notice like if I took the foundation out, my skin would clear up, and then if I used the foundation again, by the end of the day my face would be really bumpy, it's just not worth it. So for concealer, my absolute favorite is the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind. So this one's really good for dark circles. It's pretty full coverage, and it honestly reminds me a lot of the Tarte Shape Tape, but way less drying. And again, I have really dry skin, so as much as the Tarte Shape Tape is like so beautiful, I found that it was really drying under my under eyes, and it would get really cakey and just look awful after a couple hours of wearing. With this one, it's still more matte, but not like super matte like the Shape Tape is. I do also really like the, I almost dropped that, CoverGirl Ready Set Gorgeous. This one is more of a dewy finish. It will, I mean, both of them will crease up, but this one will crease up a lot quicker than the Age Rewind will. So I kind of, depending on what I'm looking for that day, I'll switch between, but the Age Rewind's my favorite, but I wanted to give a quick mention to this one. So for powder, this is my like all-time favorite powder. I like it better than my Laura Mercier. I like it better than the Kat Von D, and it's the Maybelline Fit Me Loose Finishing Powder. This one is like so beautiful. I have the shade 05 Fair because I want it to brighten the under eyes, but it helps like fill in the pores. It looks so beautiful. It really does smooth everything down, and it just, again, it looks really good. And it's also, again, not too drying, which is perfect. I like don't want my under eyes to just look like a cakey, full of product dry mess, which this I don't get with. And then on to brows. I have one brow product here, and it's the L'Oreal Define Stylist, or Stylist Definer. So it's a pencil, and it has a really fine tip. Also, please excuse my nail. I broke it off and it looks awful. But anyway, so yeah, it's like a really fine tip. Another really good one is the NYX Micro Brow, and it has a similar tip. I like those ones the best because you can get a really fine hair-like strokes with those, rather than like the ones you have to sharpen. You just can't get as good of a line. And I find that with any of the like pomades, I go way overboard with my brows, which they're already pretty dark, so I need to have a lighter hand with that. So next product is bronzer. I almost forgot about this one. So this is the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer, and I know everyone and their dog talks about this, but it really is that amazing. It's like one of my favorite all-time bronzers in general. Like, I use this over most of my other ones. The color's really nice. It's more of a satin finish rather than a matte finish, which I like. And it smells so good. It's like coconut, Hawaiian, just everything. Oh, so good. And again, it's a really great color for me. So I know, like, for darker skinned people, this is not ideal. I know Physicians Formula is really bad when it comes to shade ranges, but if you're super pale like me, then I would definitely suggest this one. It's great. So I have 2 more drugstore products, and then I have 2 other products that aren't from the drugstore, but I do want to mention. So first being the Maybelline lipstick in Beige Babe. That's what I have on today. Well, all the products that I've talked about are on my face right now, but it's just a really beautiful nude lipstick. It's lasts a really long time for just being a regular lipstick. I used to be a really big matte lipstick user, but I just found that they were drying my lips out way too much, and it's like, yeah, it looks great when you first put it on, but then 10 minutes later and your lips are full of lines and it looks like you haven't drank water in 4 days. So I've kind of been staying away from them, but I actually have worn this lipstick out a couple times and eaten food, and it lasts really good. Like, I still have to touch it up a little bit, but definitely lasted better than what I expected. And then the last drugstore product is the L'Oreal Voluminous Superstar X Fiber Mascara. So this is like a dual side mascara. So you have your like primer side and then your fiber side. And it's just really lengthening, volumizing. I do find that sometimes I'll have to take like another brush just to separate the lashes a little bit, but that doesn't really bother me. And it looks great. Like, my lashes look super long after I use it, and it doesn't really flake or anything on me. The only complaint I have about it is I accidentally grabbed waterproof, and I don't know if all of them are waterproof or it was just the one I grabbed, but it's really hard to get off. But again, I just use a little bit of oil and it's typically good to go. So for the last 2 products, I did just get them, but I tried them out today and loved them, so I wanted to give them a mention. And the first is ColourPop Super Shock Cheek in the shade Lunch Money. So it's the highlight I have on today, and it is beautiful. It is so creamy. It's kind of like a putty. I don't want to say putty. It's like in between a cream and a powder formula. So like, I did use it over my powders and it still went on really nice, but it's so smooth. It's such a pretty color. I have a really hard time finding a highlight that's light enough for my skin without being white, because I find it looks a little silly, at least on me, when I use like a white highlighter, like in the Nicole Guerrero Anastasia glow kit that they did together. That one's really pretty and I like mixing it in with others, but just on its own it's like a white strip on my face, whereas this one, this is just a nice glow. It's not too dark, it's not too light, and it looks beautiful. And then the last product is the Kathleen Lights X ColourPop Dream Street palette, and I had wanted this palette forever since it came out. But the colors are so beautiful, and again, I used it today and it blended really nicely. My favorite in the palette is this color here, which is Mermaid Boy. The blues just speak to me. Also, this like peachy pink, which is the shade Spark, is so beautiful, and I can't wait to try that one out. But yeah, that was everything I wanted to talk about today. Thank you so much for watching. Please comment below your favorite drugstore products, or if you've tried any of the ones I talked about today and if they worked for you or not. Please subscribe to my channel. I'm going to be trying to put out a video once every week, and please excuse me if I was a little awkward because this is my first time on camera. Thanks. Bye.